put in a small plug before we actually open this part of the Court of Honor. There's a new wood badge course coming up. You're going to hear a little bit about what it means to be trained in a wood badge course tonight. And Mr. Gorham will be our new course director and scoutmaster for that course. It's an outstanding opportunity for anyone who wishes the most advanced training that we have to offer in scouting. So with that, I'll declare this wood badge Court of Honor open. Before you is the axe and the log. It is the wood badge symbol. The grain of the handle of an axe is straight and true and set straight in the eye of the head. The head has the proper temper. Not too soft nor too hard. The head has been sharpened to a point to be useful. The axe and the log reminds us of those who wear the symbol have allowed their lives to be placed in the hands of God. They have proven themselves on service to others and walked the straight trail as examples to others. They have committed themselves to strengthening others through service and example. I would like Craig Coker and his wood badge patrol, and escorted by his two sons, Brian and Nate, to come forward. With them is Craig Turbeville, who acted as the troop guide for the Buffalo Patrol. These people have worked together through an arduous but wonderful course of training, and Wood Badge creates a fellowship unlike any I've ever experienced in my life, so I hope this will be a great example to everyone. In 1911, 4 years after scouting started in England, Baden-Powell wanted to develop a leadership training that could forge the very best leaders to enter scouting and carry forward scouting's activities. Baden-Powell was always very strong on symbolism and what those symbols would mean to carry forward into scouting. And one of those was the kudu horn. The kudu is an animal that lives in Africa. Baden-Powell had served in the African campaigns and the Boer Wars, and the kudu horn was used by natives and British soldiers alike to call men to assembly. And so it is still used today to call people into assembly at a wood badge course. Each person who completed the first wood badge course and the training in Gilwell in England, Baden-Powell wanted to have a special way in which he could recognize those individuals that had achieved this course. And in doing so, he thought long and hard about it, and in his campaigns in Africa, he had taken as really a bounty from conquering one of the Zulu chiefs, a long necklace composed of wooden beads. And so 2 wooden beads, symbolic of commitment and dedication to scouting is evidenced in the practical training of this course. May the wattle keep your neckerchief secure as you join other wood badgers who have preceded you. Would you slide the wattle over the neckerchief? And next is the certificate. The certificate testifies of your abilities and dedication to scouting and to others. It is the bottom of the certificate is found from the writings of Rudyard Kipling, who hath smelt wood smoke at twilight, who hath heard birch log burning, who is quick to read the noises of the night. Let him follow with the others, for the young men's feet returning to the camps, approved desire and known delight. Would you please present the certificate? Congratulations. There's a small poem I would like to read to you because it means a lot to me and to many others, called Two Tiny Beads. Two tiny beads on a leather thong. It really doesn't sound like much of an outstanding badge or mark of distinction. And yet it is known and respected and regarded around the world as a symbol of the effort and interest of one man on behalf of others who created and launched the greatest movement for boys and youth the world has ever known. It is the mark of people who have demonstrated that they are of good character, they are devoted to a cause. It is a mark of those who strive for perfection, well knowing that even the best of us will not achieve that. But it is a mark of those who hold the welfare of others ahead of their own. Scouters who live up to that name and all that that implies. It is awarded to a scouter on the basis of what he thinks and is more than on what he knows. He must demonstrate that he has skill, he has the know-how as well. Because, good intentions count for little. Good intentions and great plans without putting into action count for nothing. So as part of his effort in this wood badge course, Craig has completed 5 ticket items. And each of those ticket items are items in which he endeavors to both increase his own abilities to contribute to scouting and provide service to others. I think it is doubtful that more than 100 years ago now, when Baden-Powell had the first scout event on Brownsea Island, or when he started the wood badge course, that he could even envision how this would grow to influence the youth of the world. Millions of scouts have benefited from that vision, and thousands of men and women have worn the wood badge beads, the neckerchief, and the wattle, and have carried that vision forward over and over again to the rest of the world. Who knows, at the end of the day, this crusade that Baden-Powell started continues to flourish and hopefully will continue to flourish when 2 tiny wooden beads on a leather thong become the symbol of a succeeding effort to bring about a world of fellowship of man under the fatherhood of God. To that end, may wood badge serve so that this crusade never falters or fails. 2 tiny wooden beads on a leather thong. They could symbolize the hope of the world. It's up to you.
Gentlemen, thank you for that. Craig, thank you for choosing to share your moment with the larger 316 family. The Woodbatch candidate gets to choose where his or her meeting will take place. And yes, that's not for you. It's a dean with a D, not a D-team. The DT occurs when you're actually working on the activities themselves. You guys know what a history guru I am, so I'm going to share a little bit of history with you. I was sitting there as this was going on, thinking about the history of this unit, all of which I'm not fully aware of. None of us really are. This unit is older than any of our association. 316 was founded in 1999, and to the best of my knowledge, Craig represents only the 8th leader to earn the Wood Badge distinction. And at the moment, Craig and I are the only 2 Wood Badge trained leaders in this unit, and that's something that I'm proud to say is going to change over the coming months. I know at least 2 people have indicated that they are interested in pursuing Wood Badge training, and not putting any out on the spot, but their names are George Holmstrom and Bill Preston. There may be others. Even thinking about it, the answer is yes, you should do it. I don't regret it at all. It's a ton of work. It's a ton of fun. You get a lot out of it. You'll also make great friends. I mean, it's a testament to these guys that the Buffalo Patrol traveled from all over Columbia.
Georgia.
Georgian here. We have a bulldog, right?
No.
Let's not carry this too
Yeah,
far.
it's a testament to the kind of friendship.
He's from Wisconsin, even further.
That's outstanding. Thank you.
What's that?
At this point, I will declare the 316 portion of this Court of Honor open. And we will now have some recognition of some
Good change
awards.
in that.
Matthew Spitzer, would you come forward, please, and help me? Sorry, guys, I didn't see you there. Any other scouts, Webelos, that I might have missed, please wave. We're going to have some refreshments in a little while. I want to do some other quick recognition before we do that first. And recognize, just stand up for some of the adults if you attended University Scouting this last weekend. Anyone? Everyone? We had quite a few adults attend. Myself, with my student pocket angles.
Stick
There's some
up.
guys back there. There you go. Not to be denied. I appreciate all that you guys do. Scouts, I want you to take a look at these adults because they give and give up their time even when you guys aren't around us. And that's because we're that committed to you. So congratulations and thanks to all the adults that did that. Are there any other awards and recognition that I may have inadvertently missed? Anyone? What? Always forget about you, that's right. Well, there's one that I don't want to forget about, and that would be Matthew Preston. You come forward, please. Turn around and face everybody. No, you stand right here. Guys, tonight represents kind of a turning of the page, and we do this every few months because you elect your leaders, your senior patrol leader. And you know I'm all about honoring old traditions and sometimes starting new ones. So a couple of senior patrol leaders ago, I got the idea that the senior patrol leader works so hard and is such a big responsibility that obviously it's a job that you guys should thank him for, but we should recognize him as well. And so all of you guys that have come before, and there's several former senior patrol leaders in our midst, and obviously several future senior patrol leaders here as well. But all of you guys that came before kind of left your mark on the troop, and that's really neat for me as Scoutmaster to be able to watch. Matthew has certainly been no exception to that. Matthew, you were here for two major events that we planned. We did a lot of cool camping trips, but there were two major ones. Do you have any idea which two I'm thinking about? Oh, good In addition to Mr. Coker's wood badge beating, he has also earned the Scout Leader Training Award, which is only fitting because we do a lot of training in the Scouts, don't we? So you've got a third notch you can add to your line, your ever-growing line. Congratulations. Okay, with all of that said, and the awards and advancement, I know you guys want to go and enjoy the snacks that we have prepared. Before we do that, I'd like to invite Josh Holmes from up front to recite the poem "When the Sun Goes Down" by Robert Baden-Powell.
Lord Baden-Powell, founder of Scouting, said this to Scouts everywhere. I often think when the sun goes down, the world is hidden by a big blanket from the light of heaven, but the stars are little holes pierced in that blanket by those who have done good deeds in this world. The stars are not all the same size. Some are big, some are little. And some men have done